right? Today I'll be covering the topic margins and padding. Margins, as already you know, there are four types of margins: top, bottom, left, and right. There are four types of margins, right? And whenever we start writing leaving some space from the left margin, right? So margin basically refers to the distance that you have from the starting text and the margin. The distance between the text and the margin, that gap signifies the distance from the margin. If you want to set margin of your web page, you can set the margin of your web page in four ways: margin setting from the top, margin setting from the bottom, margin setting from left, margin setting from the right. Accordingly, your page will do the setting. In HTML, if you remember, in the body tag, you used to take two type of margins: top margin, left margin. When you used to set margin in the body tag, you used to set like this in this command: body top margin equal to 50, left margin equal to 50. This is how in HTML you used to set the margins. But as now we are dealing with the CSS properties, so when you are in CSS, you are to set the margins by giving the margin property, and margin property is in four forms: margin top, margin bottom, margin left, and margin right. Right? And these are the values that you can specify with respect to the margins. The values that you can set with respect to your margin. Like I am giving top margin 100, bottom margin 100. Top and bottom I am keeping same. Left and right I am keeping same. Clear? Then coming to the next concept, padding. I just revised one small portion of the table tag in HTML where you did an attribute cell padding. Cell padding I just revised with you all. Cell padding means the amount of space between the content of the cell and cell border. Like I showed this cell to you. Just focus on this cell. Only in this cell. This is the content of the cell which I have shaded padding. Padding is the content of the cell, and see this gap. See this gap. The gap of cell content and the gap of this border. This inner gap, this is called padding. This is called padding, and in CSS, padding is also known as filling. Padding also is in four forms: padding top, padding bottom, padding left, padding right. And you can give value as per your convenience when you want to set padding property in CSS. Now these two properties, margin and padding, I show you via HTML coding. I am going to open one web page that will highlight the use of margins and padding. Here in this coding, I have taken internal style. Why internal style? As you can see, the style tag has been used inside the head tag. So whenever you deal with the internal style sheet, we take the style tag, and style tag is used inside the head tag, and style tag takes one attribute type. Style tag takes one attribute type, and the value of type is text oblique CSS. Now I'm going to format body tag. Now the web page body which I want to set, I want to have top margin 100 pixels, bottom margin 50 pixels, right margin 100 and left margin 50 pixels. Right? You can set any value as per your convenience. In H1, when I am taking H1, the heading tag, I am taking these all properties. I am taking font Arial, color of the font red. I want my font to appear as bold. I want small capitals. Small capitals, I told you in the previous lectures. First letter more capital, more high size. Rest of the letters in small capitals, and the size of rest of the letters is bit smaller than the size of the first letter of the word. I have set the font size to be 60 pixels. Now see this padding. Padding property means the content of the cell and the border of the cell, the gap in between. The gap between the content of the cell and the border of the cell. That I have taken over here in the padding property. Padding top I have set 40 pixels, and from bottom side also I have set padding 40 pixels. Then I am setting the alignment of the text. Alignment I have set the center. Now this background color. This background color is not the background color of the web page. This background color is of the heading that you will take. Whatever heading you will write in the web page, that heading will have the background color yellow. And these are the properties of the border which I have applied. The border will appear around the heading. I show you the browser view of this. See here. Is the browser window visible to everybody? Diksha, Prabdeep, Yashika, Karanjot, Japanjot, are you all here? See this browser view. This is the heading quote of the day, and see the space. See the space where my mouse is moving. This is top margin. This is left margin. This is bottom margin, and this is right margin. The text is red color. The text is in center. And you can see this gap. This gap. The gap between this border and this data. The gap between the border of the cell and this text. This is padding. This inner space is called padding. Clear? Now moving further, I have applied the properties to the paragraph tag. Paragraph tag, I mean this thought which I have taken. Now the properties which I have applied on the paragraph tag: font weight bold. I have applied italic by giving font style property. Size I have given 30 pixels. Color I have given blue, and font I have given Verdana. Here I close my style tag. Here I close my head tag. Now I start the normal HTML coding from here. I start the normal HTML coding from here. Right? And this is the browser view. Is it thoroughly clear up till here? Any doubts? Any doubt to any child? Now here I tell one thing more. Suppose you want to apply one property to the entire web page. You want in the whole web page, the font should be Comic Sans MS. You want the font Comic Sans MS for the entire web page. Right? Now, one solution is this. You write font family Comic Sans here. You write font family Comic Sans here. Twice you will write the same property. Twice you will write the same property. To avoid this problem, there is one solution in CSS. In order to write a property which is common for entire web page, there you apply a universal rule. When there is one such property that is common for entire web page, all the elements of HTML, all the tags of HTML will take that same property. To write, instead you write the same property again and again and again. You write that property just once, make that property a universal rule, and that universal rule will be applied to the entire web page. How to create universal rule? That is called universal rule or universal selector. Here you have selector H1. Here you have selector P. Here you have selector body. Now how to create universal selector? In order to create the universal selector, you write asterisk. Asterisk signifies universal selector. It means the property which you are going to apply will be applied to all the tags, all the elements of web page coding. Take the curly bracket over here and write your property. Font family Comic Sans MS and put a semicolon over here and close this property. Now see this. This is how you can give universal selector. In the last session pre-board, in the January pre-board, in the last session, there was a question of 2 marks. Define universal selector with the help of example. Universal selector means a property which is common to all the elements of web page. And how to set the universal selector? We write asterisk. We write asterisk. Asterisk means this property is going to be applied to all the elements of web page. This is common property which will be applicable to all the elements of web page. Now I have taken font family Comic Sans. This font will be for entire web page. And see, check here. I have not taken any other font family here. I am not taking any font family over here, right? Now I save this file. See this. See the browser view carefully. Comic Sans MS font is applicable to the entire page. Your heading is also in Comic Sans. Your paragraph is also showing the text in Comic Sans MS. Right? Is it thoroughly clear? Universal selector. Devanshi, Amit Kalra, Gurkirat, Himanshu, Arshdeep, Himanshu Dheer, Diksha, Harnoor, Manmeet. Is the lecture clear? Harnoor Kaur, Manmeet, are you here in the class? Aryan, Kamakshi, Vriti, is the lecture clear? Again, I show how to give the universal selector asterisk, opening curly bracket, write the property which you want, same for entire web page. One more property I add, heading is in red color and text is in blue color. Suppose you want complete web page in blue color. So I omit the color property from here. I omit the color property from here. I add color property as universal selector. See here. See carefully. The entire web page has turned in the blue color because I have applied the color property under the universal selector. Clear? Is it clear? Now I set more padding property over here. I give padding left 40 pixels, padding right 40 pixels. See here. See the change. See the change after giving the padding property for top, left, bottom, and right. Clear? Again, I show the coding to you. Again, I revise. Internal style means you are giving the style property, style tag inside the head tag. Then inside the style tag, you are taking the type attribute. You are taking the value text oblique CSS, right? Then you will take all the tags onto which you want to apply the necessary properties. Whatever properties you want to apply on whichever tag, you take those tags as selector and you apply the properties. This is the universal selector. This is the H1 selector. These are the properties applied on to the H1 selector. These are the properties applied to the paragraph selector. Here you close the style tag. Here you close the head tag. Your style tag and all the properties, carefully see, they are enclosed inside the head tag. Right? Then after the head tag, take the body tag and write the normal web page. So today, along with margin and padding and universal selector lecture, I have again given a revision to the internal style. So all the three styles, inline, external and internal, I am very sure might be very, very clear to you people. Clear?